So for your group quiz, remember these are going to be basically exactly the same as what's on your test, just barely different numbers. Okay, so make sure that you're paying attention, please, and that you review this stuff. Okay, for number 1, it says rewrite and simplify if possible. All I want you to do is be able to recognize this written in power handle. Okay, remember, the power only goes to the x, so the 20 is still outside. Okay, the x goes underneath your radical. Power of 2, handle of 5. Make sure that your handle is in the handle, not out front. Now, the power could be underneath here, or it could be outside. Does not matter. Okay, does not matter at all if this power is written outside or underneath there. Either way is totally fine. Okay, for number 2, it says find the value of 81 to the negative 3/4 power. Anytime you have a negative power, you need to create a fraction. You're going to move this to the opposite side of the fraction bar. So it's going to become 1 over 81 to the positive 3/4. Then change this to be power handle. So 1 over 81 goes underneath, power of 3, handle of 4. 81 breaks down to be 9 and 9, which breaks down to 3 and 3, and another 3 and 3. So if you didn't have it memorized that the 4th root of 81 is 3, you could break it down that way. This is going to come outside, so this becomes 1 over 3 cubed, and 3 cubed is 27. So your answer is 1 over 27. Okay, negative exponents do not make negative numbers. They make fractions. Okay, so it does not mean you're going to have a negative number as an answer. Here, negative 1 over 27 raised to the 1/3 power. This goes to the top and the bottom. Yes?
On number 2, how do you get rid of the negative 3 exponent?
Up here?
Yeah.
Anytime you move a negative exponent to the opposite side, it becomes positive. Okay, so here, this is going to be 1 to the 1/3 power over 27 to the 1/3 power. So rewrite this in power handle. You still have a negative. Underneath your, here you have a 1 raised to the 1st power, cube root, over 27 raised to the 1st power, cube root. Okay, cube root of 1 is still 1. We still have a negative attached. Over cube root of 27 is 3. Negative 1/3 should be your answer. For number 4, if you have the same base, okay, same base means add the exponents. So really this is 5 to the 1/2 plus 2/3. Okay, you can't add those together like they are right now, so you have to get a common denominator. So that would be 5 to the, if I'm going to have a common denominator of 6, okay, common denominator, we give you 3/6 plus 4/6. So your actual answer here is 5 to the 7/6 power. Okay, 5 to the 7/6 power. For number 5, what's the simplified form of the 4th root of 1 over 243? First off, I apologize, there's a typo here. This should be 4th root of 343, not 243. Okay, if you break this up, we get the 4th root of 1 over 4th root of 343. Okay, the 4th root of 1 is 1 over 343 should look familiar. Okay, 343 is 7 cubed, 7 to the 3rd power. So if you have 3 7s and I need 4 to be able to get rid of the denominator, the radical in the denominator, what do we call that again? Getting rid of a radical in the denominator? Rationalizing, right. So you have to multiply by 1 more. Okay, but make sure when you multiply by that 1 more, they still has the same handle number. Okay, so in the top, we got the 4th root of 7 over a whole 7. If you do not put the 4th root in the handle number, it's going to be wrong. So be careful on that because a lot of people will make that mistake. And that's one that's just kind of silly, but you'll lose a lot of points if you make those kind of silly mistakes. Okay, for number 6, solve for x. Okay, how do we get rid of a fractional exponent?
The reciprocal.
Reciprocal power. So raise it to the 2/3 power. Okay, both sides raised to the 2/3 power. Okay, these will cross reduce. gives us x equals, put this in power handle, you get negative 125 raised to the second power cube root. Okay, so cube root there. What's the cube root of negative 125?
Negative 5.
Negative 5. Negative 5 squared gives us what?
25.
Positive 25. Be really careful with your positives and negatives on that. Okay, positive 25 should be our answer. Number 7, first thing you have to do is get rid of the 3. So divide the 3 from both sides. That leaves us with x to the 3/4 power equals 27. And just like the one before it, to get rid of a fractional power, raise it to the reciprocal exponent. So take it to the 4/3 power. These powers cross reduce. So x equals, if I put this in power handle, 27 to the 4th power cube handle. What is the cube root of 27? 3. And 3 to the 4th is what? 81. Okay, 81 should be your answer. Okay, this one is asking more about a rule. Okay, so if I gave you multiple choice, for instance, okay, and this was always, excuse me, I'm sorry, all real numbers, no real numbers, 0, or all real numbers greater than or equal to 0. When does this work? When is that true? Is it true for all real numbers, for no real numbers, for just positive numbers? When is that true?
All real numbers.
All real numbers, okay? If I gave you something that has an even exponent in handle number, that is when it has to be the absolute value one. But this one, no even since it's odd, this would be all real numbers. Yeah. Okay, so that one would have to be all real numbers. Okay, for number 9, which of the following is true? The cube root, or excuse me, the square root of x squared minus 36 equals x minus 6. Is it only true when x is 0? Is it only true when x is 6? Or is it always true or never true? Is that always true?
No.
Why is it not always true?
X can be
Okay. Does this break down? What is the square root of x squared minus 36? It's not x minus 6. This breaks down to be x minus 6 times x plus 6. Does that work? No. So it's definitely not always true. Okay? Now that we can establish it's definitely not always true, what if I plug these in? If I plug in 0, what do you get? The square root of negative 36? Can you do that? No. We can't do that. What about if you plug in 6? If you plug in 6, does it work?
Yes.
Yes. It doesn't work? Plug in 6.
Yes, it
6 squared is 36 minus 36. Is that equal to 6 minus 6? Yes. So it's only true when x is equal to 6. Okay, so you might have to plug things in here. Okay, on number 10, which of the following is not a function? You have to know how to graph on this. What does a y equals equation look like? Is it straight up and down or side to side? Y equals equations. Remember, why are you dead? So that is side to side. Okay, is that a function? Is a side to side line a function? Yes, so it's not that one. What about an x equals equation?
Up and down.
That's straight up and down. Is that a function?
No.
No. Okay, just in case you wanted to check the other ones, what's an x squared equation look like?
It's
A parabola. Is that a function? Yes. And a negative x plus 8 is a what? Line. Is a line a function? Yes. The only one that is not a function is b. Okay, that is the only one that is not a function. Okay. For number 11, what time are you guys done? 2 minutes. 2 minutes? Okay, we'll do just a couple more. Okay, for the following functions, we can assume x is greater than or equal to 0. If I want to multiply these together, okay, multiply together, oh, this one's kind of difficult. 8x raised to the 1/3 power multiplied by 27x to the 2/3 power. Can I just go ahead and multiply these together?
No.
No. This one has to be distributed to both. What is 8 to the 1/3 power? If I rewrite that, 8 raised to the first cube power, x to the 1/3. What is the cube root of 8? 2. So this is really 2x to the 1/3 times 27x to the 2/3. Multiply these together. What's 2 times 27? 54. What do you do with these exponents? Add or multiply? Add. So x to the what's 1/3 plus 2/3? 3/3, which is basically 54x to the first, and you do not have to write the exponent there. Do not have to write the exponent there. Okay? We will finish this later.